In today's live stream, we are going to hang out with my friend Lefteris, or we're gonna see how that to pronounce that correctly. But Leo for friends, and we're gonna talk about his amazing tool. He created a tool called Keyword Cupid. This is a keyword clustering tool, and we're gonna talk about that. How that is gonna just disrupt the way we do keyword research. Plus, we're gonna have some giveaways and other cool stuff. So, if that's for you, let's get into it. But first, we need to listen to the Hustlers anthem. Let's go.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just want to quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Let's go.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Adrian Diaz here with Hasta la Vista Boss, the place where ambitious people like you and I, we talk about how to create a side hustle, how to make it profitable, quit our job, become our own boss. File, how's it going? Welcome to Hasta la Vista Boss.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm proud to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you on, brother. We've been friends for a few weeks, and the way we become friends, it's very, very intriguing. I don't know what's going on there, but I might ask you if you are tracking what's going on, like if you're tracking people over the web or...
I do some basic tracking, but I mean, long story short for the audience, what happens, like Matt Diggity, who is pretty much one of the reasons that I'm in SEO, messaged me and he was like, yeah, just check this webinar that I did with this guy. Anyways, we discussed for a bit, and then I went to your channel and I started like watching your videos, and I really resonated with what you were saying and like your message and the way that you're saying. You're very personable. And in the meantime, so I decided to start sending you a message. In the meantime, apparently you were signing up for Keyword Cupid and you're playing with the tool. I'm like, yo, you're amazing, blah, blah. And you're like, great, sure. I'm saying I have this tool. And you're like, yeah, I'm just testing this tool. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So I was wondering, are you tracking are you tracking people who's looking at your tool or something? Because it was awesome. So I was reading Fat Rank blog.
James, yeah.
Shout outs to James if you watch this.
What's up, James?
So so I was looking through there, and then all of a sudden you sent me a message. No, this is not possible.
I'm trying, honestly. I know that this can be done. I haven't reached that level of tracking yet, but I feel like it would be good for sales if I can. Just message awesome. People that are reading things about me. But yeah, I think it was just a funny coincidence. I mean, James and I have been very close, and he has been great help in like promoting the tool. So yeah, I owe a big thanks to him. He has a really good channel with FatRank. But yeah, like sometimes it just happens. So it's just like those, and everyone's connected in SEO. Like, and I see this a lot nowadays because I've been a few years in the field. So after you meet a person, you start having like, 50, 100 connections, and, eventually you run out. You're like, yeah, this guy and this guy, and, everybody's like connected somehow. So that's good.
It's true. Shout outs to Matt as well, Matt Diggity. I hope to see you back on this show, brother, very soon. Or maybe I come to Chiang Mai and you can have me on your, on the big scene. You never know. Before we move on, File, let me quickly welcome everybody here in the chat. All right, let's see, who do we have here in the house today? We have Chris, we have Adrian, Helen, Kieran. What's going on, Dragan? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce your name, brother. Josh is here. Hola. Jan, how's it going? D is here as well. Sue. I apologize if I didn't pronounce you if I didn't give you a shout out yet. but just say hello or say hola in the chat so we can say hola back to you.
We're multicultural
exactly.
group here. So yeah.
We speak.
Philip, by the way, means Greek because most people don't know Greek. So yeah, maybe we should give a bit of a preface.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So let me just quickly see if there's something that I missed on the chat. Andreas is here. How's it going? Brian, Carl, Steven, Mark. Full house today. What's going on? Privyet. There's someone here in the chat. Privyet. I still remember from my Russian 8 years of Russian back in Romania.
It's the best language to know.
I know a few.
Yeah, I love Russian culture.
Yeah, I speak a few, but fluently only 4.
That's great. It's more than me, so you win.
CBDK says, "Let's fire that boss." That's what I'm talking about. File.
Yeah, cool.
Let's talk a little bit about who you are, because you are more of a geek or nerd alert, like I said in the on the message on Facebook. Nerd alert.
Were very cool. So I'm happy to be a self-proclaimed geek and nerd, or whatever you want to call me. Like, yeah, all those things. I am definitely like a science guy. My background is in data science. I did my master's and I started a PhD in the field. Worked as a data scientist in New York for 10 years. So yeah, definitely the furthest thing that you can get from a marketeer. So apologize if my mind goes a million different places. I will really try to contain it. And I have heard like the advice of very amazing people in the field just telling me like, keep it for the user, don't go into the math. So yeah, that's pretty much my background. And there's a long story of how I ended up in SEO, but you know, it happened, and I love the field. I love the people that I have met here, and you know, everybody's passionate, everybody's driven. They are all trying to create something out of thin air, and you know, it's a very interesting mix of people from various backgrounds. So yeah, like I'm happy to be associated with you guys.
The pleasure is mine, man. The pleasure is mine because I'm the guy who's piggybacking on all of you guys, learning a little bit from you, a little bit from that guy. But you're right, and we talked about this on private. You know, the networking and the amazing people that you met, and you think that, you know, because like Matt Diggity or Craig Campbell, when I reach out to him, like these guys are like big names, right? And you say, oh no, they're not gonna talk to me and all that, but you know, just reach out, and you know, if they might say hello.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Yeah, the networking and how cool people are in this industry is really amazed me.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all about value addition. Like if you, and I guess this is pretty much why I released the tool, because I built it for my own purposes, for my own affiliate sites, because that's where I started from. But the whole point is that like if you, and there's a lot of people like Steve Toth talks about it as well in the groups and SEO signals of like how when you add value to people, how when you're just giving away, it comes back, because this is an industry that is more of like, you know, we just all rise together. We're trying to figure things out. And it's not so much about, you know, like personas. There is a lot of drama, obviously, like in anything. But, you know, the tide rises all ships. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing Matt wrong, but I think it brings the point. So, yeah.
That's very cool. So let's talk a little bit about your tool. Of course, I apologize for the clickbaity title. I want to start to make clickbaity titles, but at the same time, I want to provide good videos, good value. But you know that we need to create those clickbaity titles in order for you people to click on it.
You know, hopefully we actually killed keyword research. So stay until the end to just make up your own mind. But yeah, I'll give you like a short overview of the tool, and then we can open it to the public as well, get some different niches or different different ideas on what we can do live, because that will be, I think, like the best way to add value to your audience. So as I said, like my background is in data science and computer science. So I didn't know anything about SEO when I joined the field. I was reading a lot of things. I was, taking a lot of courses, and I found out that the first part that you're starting from everything, like when you're building a site and you're building new content, is keyword research. So there is currently a plethora of different tools or different guides on how to create this massive keyword list, which is great because you can gather like tens of thousands of keywords. The problem is that I didn't find a systematic way of organizing them together into clusters or thematical entities in order to be able to structure your content around it. Like, there was no intuitive, or actually there is an intuitive way, but there's no data-driven way until now. So what I wanted to see is that how can I, not without inserting my own bias of what goes together, how can I create a tool or a software that relies only on the results in order to be able to derive those relationships? And what I created is two neural networks. I'm not going to go into the details, but long story short, what they are doing is that they are looking at the first 50 to 100 SERPs of each keyword, and they are creating this sort of multidimensional space. They plot them together like a sky, and then they are just going and parsing the space and finding out those keywords that belong together, pretty much like constellations, like the Cassiopeia. I guess it's one.
Here we go in the nerd stuff.
But yeah, so in a sense, it groups together. And can I share my screen here?
Yeah, you can grab the screen. See, actually, let me just quickly check. See here, security. Yeah, you can share the screen now, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, it's mostly for later. But what I put some things together is like that. You have like this sort of like multi-dimensional space. Obviously we can visualize up to 3, but and then you can let the algorithm understand how different overlap in the search engine positions in what Google shows you also affects the results, the initial relationships. The hypothesis is that if we don't insert any knowledge, any NLP package, any BERT or anything, if we blindly trust what Google shows us, can we understand if those entities that arise make sense? Because if they make sense to our human brain and it makes sense to the Google brain, then those things are very, very related. Like, then we are doing the correct job. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, if it doesn't make sense the first time, check the replay. And
hopefully, I mean, we're gonna go through examples, so I will explain the whole thing and just like what it does and how you can, understand the results. And it's pretty much self-explanatory what happens in the end. And we can go however you want. If you want to ask more questions on how it works, how is it different, by all means. Otherwise, we can just go to the value addition and like how you can use it.
Sure. Let me quickly go to the chat, and Helen she's naughty today. When nice. I said let's talk about when I said let's talk about your tool, Filet.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I think my wife's watching also. So
that's nice one. D says in the chat, keywords that are related makes a lot of sense. And first, before I forget, drop your questions. If you have any questions related to keywords in general, keyword research, clusters, topics like silos and all that kind of stuff. Alternatively, as some of you know, this is probably the only show on YouTube where you can join us and you can ask directly a question or participate somehow. The link is in there in the chat right now. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say before I forget. And I don't know, Fide, if you guys want a keyword, just to give to have an example for a keyword, drop us a keyword in there on the chat. We're gonna take maybe one or two, File, or
or your nieces. So I have examples that I will show you so you can understand a bit how it works and what exactly it does with the different examples and like in order to get an idea of like how you can use it. But I think the best use of your time would be if you have a keyword list ready that you are ready to put in your site, just send it over to me. It can be in Excel or whatever. If you have a competitor that you want to analyze, by all means, just drop the URL. If you also have a keyword we can just start from that, and we can go through together what you're about to do, and hopefully we'll save you some work. Yeah, like and I will send you the reports after the Excel report, at least because the mind map is engraved to the
Sure.
site. But yeah.
And by the way, if you guys like this content, consider to give us a thumbs up. That's helpful with the algorithm, as you all know. And consider subscribing. That would be awesome to have you as a subscriber. File, if you want to show us how the tool works and what it does with something that you already have. In the meantime, people are getting their queries or keywords or whatever to see if we can do something.
We can do whatever, and as I said, like because this trains a different machine learning model for each of your reports, it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword to do a live demo with data that I haven't seen before, because obviously if, like, for example, I had a client CBD oil, my man, I know that. Okay,
there
cool.
You go.
We'll play with CBD.
You have one already, CBD oil.
Cool. Okay. If you have a site that you want, by the way, what do you want to? Which site do you want to try? Because if I go to SEMrush, so what I was saying before is that if you do garbage in a machine learning model, you will get garbage out. I think everybody knows the saying. But I had like a client the other day that messaged me. He was like, my report sucks. This doesn't work. And when I looked at his keyword list, it had, keywords about the Kardashians, which are like, personas in the US, and types of meat. So I don't know what exactly he was expecting, like between, the Kardashians and steak. But obviously, like the clusters weren't great because there wasn't any underlying theme around them. The whole point is that this is going to, unravel topics that emerge and do a lot of, interesting things that we will see as we go. Okay, we're gonna play with CBD. Let's just go to SEMrush and keyword magic tool, I guess. CBD.
By the way, whilst you get that report there, File. By the way, File means hermano, brother. In case.
Anything? Doorbells. Wait, doorbells. It might be.
But what I wanted to say is that for you to use this tool, you will either have to have access to Ahrefs or SEMrush, or is not ideal, but you can do it. You can do your keyword research manually and insert everything into an Excel spreadsheet, and then upload it to the tool. But since we said that manual keyword research is dead because of this tool, then you don't want to do it manually and then put the keywords in the spreadsheet, although you can. But the fastest way to do it is to use SEMrush or Ahrefs.
And to your point, what you can do is that we have two types of report. The first one's called BYOD, which is bring your own data. And you can upload your reports from Ahrefs, SEMrush. I will add more tools here. Your Google Search Console as well will be able to pull data from there. And then you can select what sort of report you are trying to upload, because, like they couldn't standardize the report. So here it's called CPC, here it's called CPC USD, and here it's called cost per click. So in a sense, I gotta know where the report's coming from so I can see what I'm looking at. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm aggregating the metrics that you have in the report in the output. If you want, you can just go to a simple and you just do comma separated keywords, and you can just cluster the keywords for you. It depends on the use case that you're doing. Let's just say, like, for example, like I'm trying to pick the list because this is going to run for around like, this is too little. Maybe 20.
Yeah, so the report is not gonna be generated instantly, guys. So as you're gonna see, Leo's gonna take the keywords, he's gonna drop them in the tool, and then the tool needs to do its thing, needs to scrape and all that. And if you have any questions about that, if you're more experienced here, more advanced, please drop your question in there or join us.
Yeah, I mean 780 should be good. All right. So just a disclaimer, I haven't seen this keyword list. I'm not 100% sure what it does, but for all intents and purposes, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna export it, and we just export it in Excel. I'm gonna save it here, and then we're gonna go back to the tool, we're gonna put like doorbells as the title. You always have to have a project which you can create from here. You just click here and add new project. I probably will change the UI as well to make it a bit more easy to interact with. And then you select where do you get your report, SEMrush keyword magic tool. Then you are uploading it. You can select how many keywords you want to include, because, for example, you can upload a keyword, a list that has 10,000 keywords, and you want to only get the best 1,000. I can describe more of what this means, the best, because we have like a lot of logic. In particular, for this case, we're just going to scrape all of them, so 1,000, and whatever you don't use, because this keyword list was around 780. So what's going to happen is that it's going to reimburse you for the keywords you don't use. And yes, and then the next thing is that you can select where you want to get the SERPs, the search engine positions from. So who submitted the doorbells? Dragon, where do you want me to search from? What location? You can select mobile, and we can go down to the zip level. So our proxies go up to the zip level, and so you can just drag around the pointer, or you can just put it here, put the address, like the city or the address that you want.
Australia.
Australia, why not?
Desktop in Australia.
Desktop in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Melbourne or something. Let me put Melbourne so I can. Melbourne desktop, and then we can eventually I'll add Bing here too, but nobody really cares. There's on-page functionality too, but I don't want to overload you, so I'm going to skip it for now. Like, it's not really needed, but you can put your competitors here and try to understand how they have optimized their page. When you click run now, the report, sorry, just for some reason.
And by the way, Leo has a YouTube channel for the tool, but it's very new. It doesn't have too many videos, but I'm sure that as you grow, maybe you're gonna put more more videos in there.
I'm trying to do everything right now, but yeah, like we only have one video which uses Greek music keywords, and what I wanted to show is pretty much that it can be language independent. So what we did is that we put Greek music keywords, and because I understand Greek, I can interpret the results. And pulling the SERPs from Greece, we were able to understand the relationship between, for example, different singers without even knowing who they are. Mm-hmm. If you look at the video, you will see that it even grouped together singers that used to be married. And the reason that it did is because it found a connection in Google that was a reference that them being married. So it created a cluster for them. Anyways, the report has started right now. As you can see here, you can go to the project here and just see the reports and their status. Here, it's running. So I don't know, it probably will take like half an hour, and then we'll check the results. But I will walk you through some of the other reports that have already qualified, so I can explain pretty much the two main points of what I'm trying to mediate here. The first one is that Keyword Cupid does things faster than a person, which, because somebody can tell me that I can spend like a day and just organize 500 keywords and be done with it. But there is another element to this, is that by looking at the way that the search engine results show you how things belong together, you can unravel a lot of the user intent. And that's why I'm using the sort of keywords of like user intent, capture user intent. What does this even mean? There is subtle differences between each keyword that, unless you're a very experienced user, and even if you are a very experienced user, I'll show you results, you will probably miss. It depends on like how you cluster those keywords together. So let's just, there are two main outputs. The first one is an interactive mind map. The second one is an Excel report, and I will go through both of them. Let's just look at the supplements example. So each report, and you can click here full screen. Each report starts with the same kind of structure. You have three branches. It's the singles keyword. Those are keywords that we couldn't, we couldn't be sure that they belong with something else. So we separate them and we're calling them singles. For example, heavy metal detox supplements. We didn't find many other keywords that were very related to this intent. So we decided that we should just separate by itself. Then there is the weak themes, which are themes that they are very related. They can be very strong categories. It's just usually they have few supporting keywords underneath. For example, good juice cleanse or erythral brands. You can see all the keywords here does have to do with erythral. And when you hover, you can also see the first 10 SERPs just to get an idea of yourself, like why exactly those things are grouped together, although we're using up to 100. But though the cluster confidence identifies how strongly do we believe that the keywords that are in the next level, this level, they're children of this node, are related to each other. And as you see, the cluster confidence is 100%. That's why it's colored green, is because all of those things seem to be very related. When the cluster confidence is not great, it doesn't mean that there is not a good theme, because obviously there is, Google doesn't really understand what we're talking about. And even like the more subtle entities, subtle meanings could actually be beneficial when you do the interlinking. And that's what we'll see next. Those are the weak themes, but the most important things, and pretty much where you're going to spend most of your time, is the strong themes. And the strong themes are clusters with multiple keywords and multiple levels of aggregation. As you can see here, let's just take an example that have healthiest energy drinks. What we're saying here, and I'll take a moment to explain what this name is, but under healthiest energy drinks, there is what is the best energy drink, and then healthiest energy drink. And when you're opening it, you will see that the intent is very different. Like under the healthy energy drink, there is sugar-free, safest, healthiest, and all those things. When it comes to the best, you get other things like energy drinks that work, best energy shots, best energy drinks for work, and all those things. And the reason is that both of them are talking about energy drinks, but the intent is separate, but also we found similarities in more loose terms. Does it make sense until now?
It kind of does. I mean, if people in the chat are familiar with what a keyword cluster is, and why we should cluster the keywords, I mean, this is one of the things that most impressed me when I use this tool, is because one of the things that I spend most time when I do keyword research is, especially when I take the keywords from Ahrefs, is that it takes me like ages to kind of categorize them and put them and start thinking, okay, is this keyword related to this one or is related to the other one? And then on this spreadsheet, I need to copy here, put it there, and then it's a nightmare. So this is one of the things that most impressed me about the tool. That's why I said that the manual keyword research is dead, because you don't have to do that anymore. I mean, you probably still have to look at the SERPs, right? Just to kind of make sure that the tool got it right, and maybe just to look at the SERP, that's a good practice. But this is amazing that you can put the keywords together and all that. Maybe a question, I don't know if you guys have a question. Like you can see here, Andreas says, so in general, for every cluster we create a different landing page to target, right? Is that that's a question?
That's a good question, and I want to describe what those clusters mean. So for example, let's just take this best fat burners for women. The reason that I named this related to best fat burners for women is not because you should name the page or create, a separate cluster for that. Is because this best fat burners for women is pretty much the centroid of the cluster. So if you and I had like a 3D example that I created. This is for 3 dimensions. Obviously, you cannot visualize 100, but if you can see here, the keyword that happens to be in the middle of that sort of nebula, we are calling it the centroid. And what I'm doing is I'm naming this parent node as that it's going to color the theme of the cluster. Mm-hmm. When you go deeper, you will see that all those nodes that are in off-white color are the keywords that you provided, and the clusters which are colored red, green, and orange are pretty much the groupings. This means here is that you should create probably a page or an H2. It depends on what sort of content you're going after, and I will explain more in the future. But there's a strong intent about best and top thermogenics. And this is very related to best fat burners for women, obviously, because it has to do with fat burners for men, organic diet pills, weight loss pills, and all those things. And when you open it, you will see that there's different groupings of the keywords. Somebody could say that you want to create each a page for each one of them, and it should be sufficient if you were to do this. Nevertheless, sometimes it makes sense to combine things, and that's why what you can do is that you can also like drag and drop things here, and it will create the structures for you. Let's just say that you want to put like in under the same sort of structure all those things together, and you can just create whatever structures that you want. But for all intents and purposes, whatever is the cluster, it means that there is a very separate intent there, and you should pay attention to it. Another interesting thing here is that it found out all the things that had to do with women and fat burners for women, and a different one for men. And when I looked at it a bit closer, it also had, I mean, the cluster competence is 85 here, so there's a few things that are loosely related to each other. But as you can see here, there's something that was grouped with the thermogenics was the best fertility supplements. So the reason is, when I looked at it more is that thermogenics and fat burners and fat burning pills sometimes contain androgen or hormones or testosterone in order to produce to expedite the metabolism, and this could have an adverse effect into women's fertility. So that's why there is a sort of a loose intent that was grouped in here, and you can start sort of directing your idea about the content that you will create, as you would probably, like, I wouldn't really guess it. I have another example that I'm showing to people. Personally, I can't really share the name, but I worked with a plastic surgeon in New York back in the day. And what we did is that they wanted to target gynecomastia, which gynecomastia, for people that don't know, is the lipodema, like excess tissue in men's chest that looks like boobs. So the word man boobs is pretty much an LSI of the word gynecomastia. So if you were to create content, you would probably use it, interchangeably in your content. And what we saw from Keyword Cupid when we organized the results is that would not be the correct way to go. The reason is that there is a separate intent when you look at the way that man boobs appears. So it appears with pictures, pics, photos, images, pictures of man boobs. So this is the informational intent. And when people transition into a more of a buyer's intent and they are ready to do the operation, like they transition in a different sort of language, like men chest, male breast, surgery, liposuction, gynecomastia. And what we're starting to realize by asking the person's client is that because they don't know what this is, because they don't know what problem they're having, they know that there is something there. They are just searching things that make sense, like man and boobs. So what I advise them is to create an advertising campaign that had to do man boobs instead of gynecomastia. And we did like a Facebook ads with like that was, had this as messaging, and it had 165% more conversions in terms of calls and engagements than the previous ones. And there's a reason because of that, is because that you see that you can understand how people are searching the different queries. It's not just what groups together based on intuition, it's based on the underlying intent, because Google is showing things based on what you're searching, not just what makes sense semantically.
All right. That's very deep. So if Jan has a question here in the chat. He said that, how do you decide to write a post for this keyword or other keyword in one post? I had that doubt as well. If you remember at the beginning when we start looking into how I can use this tool,
I see what you mean. So in a sense, what you're saying is that if I have a site existing about a specific thing, do I create a different page or do I add Biden Trump? Okay, if you want to know that, go to my blog post. My blog, I wrote an article on actual Trump. the Trump Facebook ads. It's a sore subject. Let's not go there. But so what you're asking, Jan, is that if I understand correctly, is like, do you put keywords in the page or do you create a new page, right? And this has something to do with the sites that you're having. Like, there is an element here, obviously, that when you have a pre-existing structure, where do you put your keywords? Do you put them in a new page, in a new vertical, or do you create a new one? That is something that I'm working next in order to be able, because the first step there is to understand what your page is on ranking for. If you have a page that's ranking for, let me just, let me go to another example, like web hosting affiliates, right? So I wanted to write an article about web hosting, and I wanted to cover every single program, every single affiliate program that gives commissions. And I didn't want to do the research and find out all the hosting solutions. So I simply went to SEMrush. I put web hosting affiliate. I download the keywords. I put them here. And I can see that all the different sort of keywords that emerge, or the different clusters, have to do with the different web hosting programs. So Beyond Hosting, Bluehost, you're opening it and you can see all the keywords that have to do with hosting. If you have a page already talking about Bluehost, then what I'm saying here is that if you go in that page and you start adding the keywords that have to do with Bluehost, it will increase the relevancy of the page overall. Because what Google wants to see is that if you're thematically related to whatever they think that there is a corpus, and we don't know that corpus, but by doing this technique, which you're starting from the results and you're going back to the input, you can understand what they're expecting to see together. Because if they are showing you the same results, then this means that the input is the same. So for this Blue hosting affiliate and wealthy affiliate, that's not, Blue hosting affiliate, there's the versus keywords too. But yeah, this wasn't probably like the most interesting one. Dreamhost, Flywheel, GoDaddy, you can see all of the different programs are organized into different clusters, because it tells you that HostGator, for example, has a very different intent. And also you can see the different paraphrases here, HostGator or affiliate, or the commission. So it talks about the commission, and it talks about the link, the login. Maybe you can have, when you see this, maybe you can go to your page and add a link to directly log in to the HostGator affiliate portal. So it should start directing you on what sort of content you want to create and on how to add your pages. The next iteration that I want to do is that you're submitting also your site, and I can tell you where to put it, because that's another step that you need to know your site structure in order to be able to know where to put it. Do I create a new page about HostGator? And to that point also, it depends on the content that you're creating. So sometimes it makes sense to create silo pages for each program. Sometimes it makes sense to create a massive guide with all the hosting programs that exist and link to the inner pages. So there are a lot of different SEO strategies, and until this point, this tells you that there is a very strong theme that has to do with hosting gear, or in motion. And you can see here that we are validating this hypothesis that we are relying only on Google, and it is true that all those keywords that happen to be here are about in motion. If I was wrong and we couldn't have done this, you would see random things here. You would see things that wouldn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Let me go quickly to the chat, and we have Dave in here. David Rain.
What's up, Dave?
What's up, Leo? I think it depends on the actual website, whether you make new page or blog. The blog allows you to expand your keyword set past keywords that your page ranks for normally.
Yes.
And D says here, this is being explained very well, but a bit techy for me. We'll have to listen again and again. D, we are in the same. We are in the same, sis.
I'm really trying. I'm hardly trying not to go into math and everything, and not to geek out. And I'm deeply sorry if I fail. But I'm here to do like those things all the time. So if you have questions and everything, like by all means, like we should do, you should ask. Like, and I will go and repeat it again and again.
No problem. Eugene says here as well in the chat, Eugene, it will work both as for creating new pages, so for re-optimizing existing pages in case on algorithms update, for example.
Megan, I don't know if you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the report that finished that we're submitting. So like it scraped live results, and that's very important. Like if you do this manually, you should definitely look at live results, because I have a lot of cases where, because I was trying to save some money, so I was using cast results and I was saving them into a database. But because the things are changing all the time and Google changes all the time the results, it's very important to have the most accurate, the most up to present results. That's why it takes some time. So this is sort of like the clusters that emerge, and like, for example, hearing a doorbell ring while sleeping. So hearing a doorbell ring while awake, in my sleep, while sleeping, I keep hearing a doorbell sound. What did phantom doorbell? I don't know what we just put in here, but smart doorbell Australia. You see, because we put Australia, then it grouped together everything that had to do with like the Australia together, because it pulled also like the URLs from Australia. I don't know if it probably would have happened from the US as well, but it's a good idea to target it. So there's a lot of clusters that do not have perfect confidence. Even the 93 though, you can see that mostly like they are all about Zmodo, installs Zmodo, just Zmodo review. I don't know what's Zmodo, if it makes sense, Dragon, but Zmodo versus Ringbell. They all have to do with you know, the same topic. And the reason that I have 93 is because when it happens to be cluster confidence, or like do those things touch upon each other, it becomes easy to think when you have two things, but when you have 3 or 5 or 100, it becomes a bit more loosely related of like what exactly is touching. Like this can have a lot of commonalities with this, but this and like this and this might be related, but this and this might not. That doesn't mean that those two are not related. They are related prior of a probability of this. And I'm doing this again, so I'm going to stop. But long story short, even the things that are not fully confident, they are still very, very good themes, and you can see it. It just, what we're mentioning is that when you're interlinking, especially creating silos, be careful of what exists there. For example, I'll close some stuff. Why is my doorbell not charging? My Ring doorbell not charging. Hardwire Ring bell not charging. How long does the charge last on Ring doorbell? Ring doorbell grease. I don't know why this came up here, but and then when you open it here, it has to do like how long, all those things that have to be battery problems, is dead. So there's the same intent. It doesn't have to be the same keyword. It doesn't have to be the same LSI, because we're not using any of those things. And trust me, like I was itching to use it, because I could use the BERT entities in order to be able to derive the name of the page and find out what are the most salient terms here in order to also tell you what's the name. But if I did this, then the tool wouldn't be unbiased anymore. I would have inserted something that's very topical to 2020, because in 2025 maybe there is, you know, I don't know, Batman or Bird or whatever. So there's going to be the advancement of the algorithm. This is supposed to be evergreen. If Google becomes better at understanding the relationships, we will be able to reverse them the same way, because we're using the same algorithms but from the reverse.
That's you mentioned salience. Can you just quickly explain for those who don't know what salience means?
Yeah, salience of a term means how like prominent, how distinct, or how different it is in a corpus. So when you're using Wikipedia documents and you're training like an algorithm, for example, I mean, most people are familiar with Mikolov's work back in, I think it was 2012, Word2Vec, where you could have like different terms and like different sort of distances between them. And the algorithm was identifying that those were strong entities that were appearing in a certain way. Now with BERT, you have the same kind of functionality. Like if you go to Google Cloud Salience, Google API, I think. So you can upload natural language API. So you can upload your keywords or something. There is an API where you can also get the sentiment. You can get entity analysis. It's pretty sophisticated. It does a good job. It won't do the greatest job, because obviously it is trained on a specific corpus, and it will understand things from there. For example, if you're touching upon like casino keywords, which I'm going to show you next, the casino keywords are like the most difficult niche that exists, because it's so high paying. It's very very spammed as well. So salient terms there are going to be very difficult to identify because you have a lot of weird kind of keywords that emerge because they have been manipulated through CTR. This is the Excel keyword list because the mind map is important for the next step and what I'm creating next, which has to do with automated content. You are selecting like the Air Jordans, for example. What you will be able to do is that you will be able to select a cluster here, and I will be able to also create content automatically for you based on the scraped content of all of those results. What I'm doing is that I'm scraping content from the first 10 results of each keyword, and then I'm running a model in order to be able to also generate content. But that's to come. That's why the mind map is important, because there's no way to do this in Excel. You have to have an interactive layer with the app. But the Excel report, the way that it looks is it has, obviously I can't represent 10 levels of aggregation. Like if you have 40,000 keywords that we can cluster now, it creates sometimes like 10 levels of aggregation. I don't control it. I don't tell it like create 10 levels. It just does it automatically. But here in the Excel, we're showing up to 2. We're showing the page and then the silo. As you can see here, about WordPress theme, affiliate casino, it groups together things that have to do with website templates, casino affiliate WordPress theme official affiliate casino, and it has to do with the keywords, like with the themes and everything. There's the way that the Excels are organized. Obviously, they have the same structure, like strong, weak, and single keywords, the same way that I described the mind map. But this one is organized by the highest confidence and the highest volume. What you can do here is that I have hidden columns that have the keyword CPC, the keyword volume, and this is an aggregate of the page. So let's go to it's probably not the greatest example. Let me open the Air Jordans. Because Air Jordans have a lot of, structure as well. Mm-hmm. Like here, for example, like we have all the Air Jordan 11 golf shoes, Masters golf shoes, Jordan golf shoes, Nike men's or Jordan 11 golf shoes. And you can see here that those keywords, that Concord ones, I actually don't know. I put something like a product which has many different categories because I want to do this automatically, but I don't know much about Air Jordan, so I'm not the best person to talk about it. But what it does here, it creates the page. It tells you that there's a page talking about Air Jordan low Concord golf shoes and variations. And this has a very strong confidence. This is the underlying theme. And then this page is also grouped with those other pages. So they all kind of belong together, and you should consider making them in a silo and like in a interlinking, because as my friend Benji was saying, is like that the most important factor in ranking is interlinking nowadays. It's like you're creating a page, you are thematically flavoring that page correctly, but then you interlink them with other very tightly related pages in your site. And that's what this thing tells you. It tells you, a lot of things about golf. And what I was saying before about total volume is like, if you don't believe something here, you can just delete, you can just delete this keyword here and it will update automatically the volume and the difficulty, because those are formulas. Mm-hmm. So you can just use that.
That's great.
Yeah, what I was showing before about because there are 2 use cases. As you said, there's the use case where you know what you're looking for and you probably would be able to do it. But then there's another use case which had to do with the fact that it would be very difficult to even group those keywords together unless you understood exactly what's happening. And casino is a great example, because there's so many different things that, if you're not a casino affiliate, you don't know what those things are. And for the most part, it does a good job. Like you can see casino club affiliate, all the things that have to do with casino club. And then we go here in this sort of cluster, and it seems so obscure to me when I was looking at it. It has a very strong confidence. So the algorithm it says that those things are related, but you see casino gods, Genesis, Spella, Spin It, all those things are different. What I did is that I did a quick search. And what I found out when I searched this thing is that Honest Spella Casino, like Genesis Global, has Spin It, mm-hmm. has Vegas, which wasn't appearing in the keywords, Casino Gods, Casino Joy, Casino Cruise, Toy, Genesis Casino. And then the Spella and Casino Gods, they are all related because they are under the same kind of family of casinos. And the algorithm was able to understand this and tell you that, although you have no idea about what you're talking about here, you don't need to know it, but it tells you that research it because there's a relationship that probably you should talk about because your users care about, because Google shows them results that they care about. There's a lot of caring about here.
Yeah, that's great. As you can see, Google is bolding those terms in there, so you should take that into account when you write your pages, because Google is telling you, put this on the page. It's shouting, put these terms on the page. Bro, you know what? I forgot that we mentioned that we're gonna give away some subscriptions to these awesome people here, and I completely forgot about it because I was listening to this and so focused that I forgot to.
Let me quickly respond to Eugene because he's asking what is it basing when creates that hierarchy? Is it search volume? No. So what it does is that it creates Eugene, it's your fault. So what it creates a multi-dimensional structure based on the differences of the SERPs. So for each keyword, it pulls the first 100 or first 50 to 100, it varies. And then it also exponentially weighs them. So those, if you have like those sort of keywords to be like your results, if you have some sort of weird matching here, it weighs them in order to be more important if the overlap happens in the first pages, and then creates this sort of space like I'm showing you here. And based on that space, it finds out the differences and creates those clusters and those hierarchies, the same way that I'm showing here. Like the PHP was grouped together because there was a lot of commonalities between the SERPs of those keywords. Java was sort of blended with C programming, obviously, because this is not apples and like this is not so well defined. There are going to be overlaps and mixes, and that's why the user also has to do their due diligence. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, sorry for that. I just wanted to respond.
No worries, man. Of course. Gabriel says here, this is very interesting. The cluster concept is great. Andrea says, automatic content creation? Please tell us more. When will that be ready?
I don't know if I'm going to be releasing that. I shouldn't have said that actually, because I have tested it personally with GPT-2. I mean, for whoever wants to test this, I can tell you for a fact that it's quite easy to do it. Just scrape the stuff that Keyword Cupid tells you, because I'm also telling you what sort of URLs are ranking. And GPT-2 on GitHub is public because when they released that model, they couldn't just pull it back. GPT-3 is closed, but GPT-2 is the model that was trained to produce GPT-3. And as you see here, this is the source code. It tells you how to train it and what to do. So yeah, it will probably take some sort of understanding and development, but it's not, there is a lot of information on how to train it. So just do it in your own, like, I don't want to create like a sort of reality where the internet is such a big part of like a huge sort of fake news everywhere. Yeah, I'll try to stay away from that for now.
Well, have you watched the episode with Craig Campbell and Peter van der Graaf?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what Peter was doing. Yeah. Creating all these public opinions and fake news and all that.
And it's great and it works. It's just when you do this at scale, when you're able to press the button like I was showing you here. So in a sense, like the one that I was playing with is so this is pretty much a pilot where you will be able to select that cluster and then unselect whatever you don't want, and you will be able to click a button here and it will create content automatically and publish it directly to your WordPress page through WordPress API. Because I have cracked that. Like there is a way to just push the button and have something up without you even just flinging. That's scary because it means that
it's scary. Yeah. Kieran says here, recreational combat says, like the sound of these tools. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Recreational combat. Where were you? That would be some cool keywords. I want to do some survival niches. Like I love survival niche and stuff. So they have like really good keywords. Yeah, maybe next
sweet.
One, so.
Hey, let's quickly do one of these. Probably I'm gonna let's do one draw. So
yeah. You are the channel master, so do it, and I'm just sending the license. Dragon, also I'll send you the report for for the keywords that we run, I think I have it, is the doorbells one here. So let me know if it makes sense. As you can see here, smart doorbells. It has those keywords and tells you that I don't know, ESP 88266. I don't know if this is smart. I have no idea, but I'll send it to you. Just ping me, and I'll send it to you so you can check it out.
So if you want, since I didn't have enough time to prepare properly for this, like you would do if you're a full-time marketer. We didn't know how to do it. I said, but you know what? Let's get to whoever.
All of them are free. No, let's give all of them a free license.
Yeah. Free license, everybody. But I said, you know what? Just let's give 3 subscriptions. Leo said, to like one for each plan that he has. Can I grab the screen back, File?
Yeah, take it.
Let me see if I think you need to stop sharing. Right, and then I need to share mine. Keyword, I mean the tool is at keywordcupid.com. This is my account, but if you want to sign up and use it, there's a 7-day free trial in here as well. And these are the plans. Where are the plans? Let me get to the plans, bro. Is this the pricing, right? So he has 3 plans. Let me make this big on the screen. Single, player, and dating. Nice.
This was partially my wife's idea.
Man, I was about to ask you how did you guys came up with the name for the tool? Is when you started to fall in love together or something?
No, that's what you do for love. Like,
oh, right.
No, I mean, like my wife is great and she helps a lot in terms of like, marketing and like, the content and everything. And it was her idea and I loved it and I stuck with it. Honestly, it polarizes people a lot. Like there are some people that I know that, they just said like, I'm not going to use it because it's called Keyword Cupid. It sounds stupid. And
that's
honestly,
silly.
Like, no, I respect that. It is definitely not the most Fortune 500 is, but I like it. I think it represents what we created. So I'm going to stick with it as long as like people are okay with it.
Yeah.
Just take it.
That's that's I mean, it's your tool at the end of the day, right? So we didn't know how to do this. I mean, Leo knew how to do it, but no. I didn't have the time. So I said, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna put this how do you call it, the plans into this random name picker. So single, player, and dating. And then,
I think I have to change. There's it's called relationship. The second one. There is a malfunction there. Anyways, call it dating now. It's the second tier. So yeah.
So if you guys want to get into this how do you call it, into this draw, just start typing something on the chat so I can grab your names. As you can see here, when I do this, it shows me the participants. So there are not too many participants right now. So if you want to, yeah. So just type in there something, say hola boss or whatever. Say something so I can grab your name, smile or whatever, like Andreas just did. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do one right now. So I'm just going to grab everybody's name here. And I'm going to... Okay, more people are typing. That's what I like.
Let's go.
That's it. So another second or two. I'm gonna put some music as well.
Yeah, by all means, guys, there's more that I need to explain. Especially, I know that dragon meant dragon. Sounds cool, whatever it is. But like you mentioned about the on-page that I didn't really gloss over because I didn't want to take too much of your time. I have like a guide explaining pretty much like how it works. It's pretty lengthy, and I want to shoot more content about this. But yeah.
We can do another one of these on another day if you guys want to. just let us know, and I'm gonna find another day with Leo, and we're gonna jump on another live stream, and we cover topics that we didn't cover today.
Yeah, and by all means, like I want to also like save this tool for you guys. Like what I'm developing right now is pretty much something similar to what Pop or Surfer are doing, but from like you don't have to search one keyword. It will take out all the content from all the keywords in the cluster and create a content editor telling you how to optimize across all pages in a sense, in a 360 kind of way, not just by looking at the first 10 SERPs from one keyword, which can be quite narrowly minded.
That's it. So I'm gonna run this tool. Right, where is it? I can't find the tool. Let me just put you some music as well. So the first one, the first package, it's the player one, which is the most expensive one. And let's see who's gonna win it. Let's see who's gonna win it.
Who's the lucky boy?
Yeah, girl.
Andreas.
Boom, Andreas.
Oh, man.
Well
Cool.
done, buddy. And I'm playing you some ads here from these guys. Well done, Andreas. So let me draw the other two as well.
Oh man, this is fun. I actually want to give more now. Like.
So the next package is single, and we give it to.
Oh, I thought it was Andreas again. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of keywords.
The winner is Gabriele.
Oh, Gabriele.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Gabriel. And the last one, which is the
Relationship dating.
oh yeah, the dating one.
Yeah, I have it in two different names. That's my bad. I'll fix it.
Let me see if we have more participants in here.
Gabriel, like the dab emoji. So I'll give you some more keywords on a small package.
I got carried away with the music. So I just updated the list with participants, and the last one goes to Michelle. Last one goes to Michelle, all the way to Australia. Australia or New Zealand? I'm not 100% sure now. I think it's Australia. I think so.
Okay, it's very early though, right?
Yeah.
It's
morning time. It's morning time there. So like we said, if you guys want to, we can do this another day again. Just to cover other topics that maybe we didn't cover today. Like this tool is new. To be honest with you, like Leo knows, even I didn't get my head around it 100%. So I'm still trying to play with it. I have some keywords that I want to build some websites on in Spanish. So I think there's going to be some cool case studies maybe, of how to use this tool for Spanish or whatever.
100%.
And by the way, before we move on, how they can get their subscription, Leo?
Yeah, you can shoot me an email at contact@keywordcupid.com, or if you can go to the site, there's a contact us form can send an email there. I remember your names, but I mean, whoever wants to try it, and also like I think like so I had it as a free trial, but unfortunately there were several cases where people were creating multiple accounts, like in a sense 10, 20 accounts in an hour. So that's why I have it on $1. If you want to try it for free and like there is no worries with that, just like reach out and send an email. I can give you as many keywords to play. My whole point with this is to actually add value. Like it's not to be a money grab, like with $10. Like, so yeah, I want you to use it, and I also want to hear your opinion, like how we can make this more actionable. How else you want to see, like the Excel report actually changed last week because of users who said that I want to be able to have it in a better way to just visualize it. So I'm really open to any suggestions, and I want to interact with you more. We have a Facebook group in the page that also like you can just chat and just exchange some bounce ideas. New tools coming out in terms of like how to gather those things, even free ones. I have a scraper for Google Keyword Planner. Don't tell Google. So there's a lot of interesting things. And what I'm trying to say is like, the more we interact, the better anything that we build can be.
For sure. 100%. So I don't know if you guys, there's still 21 amazing people in the chat. So if you guys have any other questions, what I'm going to try to do now is to have a look at that report if you have it already, Leo.
Which one?
The one that we did at the beginning with we did the doorbell, didn't we?
Yeah, we just run one. It was quite fast. Sometimes it takes like, depends on the proxies and if the proxies are slow for that thing. But yeah, I'll set it to Dragon. And this was the doorbells ones that I described before. And they are organized
Can you do us a favor? That's it. Make it bigger.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, hearing it, like, for example, like the waterproof wireless. So this has to do with wireless things, I guess. This is like a sort of like cool Kia wireless doorbell manual, and this has to do with the cool Kia one, how to pair wireless doorbell. Waterproof wireless doorbell. Avantech. Is Avantech wireless? Is it waterproof? Wireless waterproof door, blah, blah, blah. So in a sense, it found out that the Avantech and 8-state and everything have to do with waterproof or TechNet. So in a sense, and there is still 91% confidence, or there is some sort of leniency that we give. I don't know these niches, honestly, but the Bodyguard wireless doorbell, as it's quite niche. But yeah, that's how you read it. Like you can see here, for example, this has to do with resets, how to change Wi-Fi password on a Ring doorbell, how to reset it, Ring doorbell to reset, flashing white. I don't know if flashing white has to do with the resetting, but maybe there's something there. Yeah, and there's also like the weak themes, which are also like interesting ones because they can point you into something. Like, for example, if you have a page on Skybell, I would say, is this a brand? Or Unify? Yeah, I don't know much about this. That's why I can't really speak very confident about this niche. But hopefully it will make some sense. Friendland seem to be like, yeah, that's the, or Carlon. And that's the other thing, that what we did right now is that we simply it took us like 3 minutes to do this. Ideally, what you want is to spend some more time finding out keywords that have to be a bit more closely related to each other. There are some underlying themes. Maybe they come from the first 3 pages of a competitor. So there is already some sort of predefined notion, because if you throw everything here, it's going to try to create those relationships. But because this is a zero-sum game, in a sense, zero-sum, I mean like that you can insert something to a cluster and make it 1, or you can insert it somewhere else and make it -1 if it doesn't belong there. And the more random things that it appears, the more cases where you have an overlap like Java and C programming, where it's ambiguous, it's going to stress the algorithm and the results. So ideally, what you want is to be able to filter a list or do some sort of due diligence, collect everything from your competitors, and remember, the more it sees, the better it is. I can show you some keywords, some lists that are like, 20, 30,000. Actually, I don't know if it will necessarily make sense for to analyze them, but when you're going to that kind of volume, then it will create a massive plan for you, which you will be able to follow more. Or Blockonomy, for example, Blockonomy had like 8,000. Yeah, 8,070. And when you open it here, because it saw so many examples from its category, did Bitcoin go up today? Is Bitcoin gone? And this has all that have to do with the increase of the Bitcoin. And there's a lot of other things like Ethereum mining pool. And those are all like different pool softwares for Ethereum, because I'm in the Nissan, know exactly what a petrol, like a Effectronome is. And yeah, so the whole point is like the more it sees, the better.
Coolio. There's some requests in here from Andreas and Dragan. Can you run an on-page optimization example before we end?
So because it's going to take, like around half an hour, 20 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. I'll show you one that has already an on-page, and this is pretty much from the tutorial that I have online. What I mean by on-page is not like that it necessarily optimizes your site. It more has to do with how your competitor or the sites that you are submitting are using the keywords in their on-page elements. So for example, for this guy, this is his direct competitors. And when you change this to the on-page elements here, you can see how the keywords in these rounds, like 705 keywords, appear in title, H1s, H tags, links in the content or the sidebar, images, bolded keywords, or keywords in the ID and everything. The whole point is that like, if you want to start targeting a specific competitor and trying to understand what they are doing, and if there's an opportunity for you to optimize those elements, you can do it by seeing where they are gapping something. For example, NYC child support, you can see when you drill it down, you can see the 5 here, 4 here, which means that in this branch, in all these 16 keywords, there's 4 keywords that are appearing in the title. And I want to see what is this NYC divorce lawyers is optimized in the title. And when I go here, I see that the title is optimized very well for divorce lawyer in NYC free consultation. And what this means is that all those words, we tokenize each keyword, and we're trying to see, do all words appear in the title? Because if they do, then this means that this keyword in some sort of variation or like permutation appears in the title. And what I'm saying by this is that this competitor site is very well optimized. All the keywords that Keyword Cupid group together because they are related in the eyes of Google are also apparent in some sort of variation in the title. That's why, I mean, this is their money keyword as well. So this is what they are ranking for. And they have done a good job without having Keyword Cupid, obviously, because they are including all the variations, and the variations are very related to each other. That is the important thing, that the variations were grouped with cluster confidence 100, and they also included all of them in the title. Obviously, this is going to be a sparse structure because you have one title and 700 keywords. That's why it's going to be probably mostly zeros. But it starts giving you an idea of what other people are doing, how they're optimizing. Or if you want to take it to the next level, you should also have this one too. Somehow include the words from this one so you can have all of them instead of just 3. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sweet. Like I said, guys, if any questions, let us know. And in the comments, because of course this is gonna be end. This is gonna be end soon, but let comments in the comments in the comment section of the video, and then if Leo and myself, we see there's a few questions that you guys are interested to have some answers to, then we might put another one of these together and we can go through those questions. Steven says here in the chat, does Keyword Cupid have an affiliate program?
Not yet, but I mean, because it's new and we don't have like a huge followership yet, like I really want to find a way to promote it and just, show it. So yeah, we're strongly considering. I have like a way that I have developed something that I can track where those signups come from. So I have something in mind to give back to the people, something like a recurring commission also on specific, on whatever people are spending per month. Even because you can also buy ad hoc keywords above your membership. So when you go here, like by buying more, you can just get a bigger discount. So depending also on the package, I'm going to explain it more. So hopefully like this will make sense for several people that are helping me promote it. The thing is that what I wanted first is to have people find value from it, make sure that the direction of the company, where it's going, it aligns with the industry and that people like it. And then I really want to also help people that are helping me promote it by affiliates. So yeah, that's definitely for sure in the plan.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me see. There was another one here. Oh, Kieran, thanks for that, brother. Saying, come on, guys, if you have enjoyed the stream, click the like button. Actually, destroy it, smash it. Justin says hello to Fix. Fix, how you doing? How you doing, brother? He says, what's up, boss? Just dropping by in between work. Gonna have to check this tool out. You have to, bro. Fix is another YouTuber, a fellow YouTuber, very funny guy. So yeah, check the tool out, Fix. If you need any questions answered or anything, reach out, bro.
I mean, we should do this again. I love the giving away. Like, it's like so fun. We should do this a bit more. Like, I was envisioning like those spinning wheels and stuff. Like that would be fun.
Well, someone, I think Michelle said, someone said here earlier that this looks like a casino or like gambling or something.
No, we talked about casino, so I don't see
exactly. Yeah, I love casinos. But yeah, for sure, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing this, and like we was talking before we went live. If you remember that, I think I'm gonna give away something every live stream that I do. And maybe I become the next Mr. Beast or something. I don't know. But yeah, can I get the screen back just for 1 second, bro?
Yeah.
Before, hang on a sec. Apologize. I'm just going through the chat, and I'm a blind guy. I need glasses. I keep saying this like for months. It's just I think it's a little bit lazy. Kieran says, I will check it out after Christmas when finances settle. Remember, guys, there's a free trial, 7 days free trial. I mean, you're not gonna do too much with 7 days, but it's enough for you to get a feeling of how this tool can help you with your keyword research.
Yeah,
and like Leo said, the tool is brand new. This type of tools are brand new to the market. I mean, what other tools are there? Which competitors do you have on the market, Leo? Do you have any competitors?
Competitors, not. There are tools that are trying to do similar things. For example, like there is SpySerp, there is TopVisor, there is SERPstat. What they are doing though, like I haven't seen any other tool that uses machine learning in order to create those clusters. They're using some sort of heuristic, which is, okay, if you have like 3 or 4 sort of connections between SERPs, then we're saying that you're related. The problem with that is that, as I said before, it can work with 2, although it's very, very heuristic as well, very, very biased. But when you have 3, the fact that A and B are related, A and C are related, but B and C are not, doesn't mean that they are not. They are related based on point A. So there is necessarily, it's not directly a competitor because the approach is very different, but there are other clustering tools, and they're not going to steer you wrong, but they're not going to be able to create all these levels that I'm showing you because the approach doesn't allow it. It's an algorithmic heuristic approach. So yeah, I don't know of any other tool that does that. I mean, I think that Surfer has mentioned that they are planning to do something like that, which should be interesting. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And talking about what other things you're gonna do, and where is it? I saw it here. Some
future.
Yeah. Who was that?
Dragon.
Oh, Dragan. Yeah, Dragan or Dragan. I don't know. In Romanian, I would say Dragan. Because that's how you pronounce Dragan.
Well, it sounds like dragon. That's
Dragan.
You know,
Is
my
that
parents-
Croatian? Is that Croatian? Is that a
Probably.
Croatian name? It's like Double Shuker, or you know.
It's cool whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so
good
what's
to know
what's
that.
the future, bro?
So yeah, the first one has to do with a content editor, similar to what I described before. What I want to do is that I want to be able to give you those true densities and statistics in order to have actionable things when you're writing in content editor, but not for just one keyword, your seed keyword, but for the whole cluster. So instead of just looking at the entities inside the first 10 results, I'm going to use it across all the things that I have clustered together. Until now, there's no way to do this because we need to solve the first problem of like how to organize things together. And then I already have found a way to scrape the content from each of those pages. And there are two paths that I want to take. The first one is that I told you with the editor that publishes directly to your WordPress site. The second one is to create automated content. I am going back and forth on what I can allow from this because also it's quite expensive. I don't know if it makes sense to train a model. It might be some sort of spam content that has a high readability score, so it can be at least an entry point for you. This tool was mostly designed for agencies, and I have like a lot of functionality in terms of like collaborate with your team members. I didn't get to show it, but if you're interested and you have team members or writers or people that you're working with, you can create accounts under your admin account, and they can also interact with it and create other projects and stuff like that. But mainly, as I said, there are two main directions that I'm thinking. The first one has to do with on-page, like there's an on-page tools for everything right now. And the second one is with automated content.
That's awesome. Stephen Buchanan says here, you should go on Clint's show. I think Clint mentioned your tool.
Yeah, Clint's awesome. Shout out Clint. Yeah.
Shout out to Clint. You know, we like Clint.
I love Clint. Yeah, he's awesome. Like,
we fans
I
here.
actually like listening to him every week. And yeah, he has a very, and I think he was doing like a case study. I don't remember the site specifically. It was like Fire. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, he's doing a case study where he was going through Schema like a few days ago. It was really cool. So yeah, whoever hasn't seen his podcast, like his webinars, just take a look.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. And Steven says as well that you can a tool like Menterprise can create keyword like what you were talking about, like doing it automatically maybe. Someone told me, Fix told me that Alex is watching us. So let me see if we can break the internet. He's gonna watch us.
Look at some of the
watching
real
him.
results our students are getting right now. This is Jake. Jake's already on page.
So big congratulations to my friend Alex from
students like
WP
this.
Eagle, who reached
watching
50,000. Hey, look, he's looking at us. He's watching us.
What?
This is so Inception kind of.
This is crazy. So Alex, big congrats, brother, on 50K subscribers. You deserve it.
That's
100%,
amazing.
my man.
There's a delay. I mean, we break the internet with a delay. But
yeah, we're gonna break
awesome.
the internet. So Timon says this tool is awesome. It's gonna be more awesome as we learn more about it and how the hell to use it. As soon as we break Leo's brains and then we put it on paper and then so that's how you use it. But slowly we're gonna do that. Inception style. Yeah, everybody's talking about the Inception. Yeah, that was cool. So I don't know if there's any other things, guys, that you wanna chat about. Look, everybody's here in the chat. Hey everyone.
Oh, man, look at that. I think the time must have like there's so many more people now.
Yeah, it's because probably everybody comes from WP Ego live stream.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Thanks, Alex.
I love you, everybody. I love you, Alex. You should have come earlier when we had a few subscription to give away. That would have been
You
awesome.
give one more? Oh, come on, I'm itching.
Not today. Not
One more.
today.
For Alex's sake, give another one.
Which one do you want to give away?
Give a player one.
The player one. Okay. So this really looks like the casino now.
Without, I mean, we need to do this properly. Like, if we have like a.
All right, let's see what I'm gonna
code,
stream Alex. I'm gonna stream Alex live stream, and what I'm gonna do, guys, because you came here from Alex, chat. Just type something in the chat because our awesome Leo decided to give away another.
Oh man, I feel bad. Maybe we should give more. I'm gonna bring them back eventually.
Copy. So I copied everybody's names, and now I'm gonna put everybody here in the.
I hope the same names don't really.
No, but we gotta know who is it. So we're not gonna. So we're gonna choose the player. We're not gonna run this again because it's the player
It's the biggest
subscription.
license in the house. Yeah.
And let's run it with some music on the background. Let me see if I put the Hustlers anthem. Where is it? Where is it? It's here. Let me see if this is.
I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just want to quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve.
Yeah.
Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun.
And the winner is John Zorro.
Oh man, that's a cool name as well.
Yeah.
Zorro, that's pretty cool. Awesome.
Zorro, you just won yourself a subscription from Leo, so you can go ahead and play with the tool. I think it's for a month. You're not gonna use that much, but yeah. Have a play with the tool and let us know how it goes, if you like it or not.
And yeah, by all means, I mean, I know that we're giving away like only 3-4 subscriptions, and I know that it's a tough time, and I totally respect it, and I totally understand it. So the whole point of this is to create some sort of a followership, and as I said before, create a tool that is helpful for the industry, that expedites the keyword research, makes it faster. I have some people that have agencies, and they were telling me today, like, they created plans and they were selling those plans to their clients for 4 or 5 times as much as they paid me. So it makes sense. And if you want, like, just reach out, say like, I have a problem, like, it's financial times are difficult. I will give you credits to play. If you can find a way to monetize this, we can make this a profitable relationship for both of us. But I don't want it to feel like that, you have to pay to just use it. Like, just reach out. I think I'm open to help whatever I can.
You are a superstar, bro. Thanks for that. Carl says here in the chat, why isn't this #1 in the charts yet? Well, he's gonna be, bro. He's gonna be with everybody's help.
We're working.
Yeah, we all help. The help from all of you is gonna be #1 in the charts. We're gonna beat Mr. Beast and PewDiePie and everybody.
Giving away things are fun. Like, this is, I want to do the David Dobrik stuff. If you want cars, like, I want to be able to be sponsored by SitGeek and just give away cars. It's so fun to do that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. By the way, John, I don't know if you were here earlier when, if you want to get your subscription, reach out to, what's the email again, File?
It's either contact@keywordcupid, or you can go to our homepage and click the contact us, and then you can just fill a form. I remember the name, so it's Michelle.
That's it. So just tell him you want the player subscription on the live stream on Hasta la Vista Boss, and he's gonna give you a subscription so you can play with the tool and come back with some feedback, and that would be awesome. So I thank everybody for stopping by. I thank you, Alex from WP.
Thanks, Alex. That was fun.
For sending everybody here. It was a lot of fun to have everybody. File, before we go, is there anything that you would like to add? Any last words for this particular live stream?
Yeah, no, everybody stay safe. Like, I know it's tough times, so I actually don't need to plug anything else. I think like that it was great. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you, Adrian and Alex and everyone. So for me, yeah, as I said, my main goal and what I want to immediate is that I want to help in whatever way I can to promote the industry and just, add value. And that's what I want to work. So if you have feedback, if you have ideas of how this would be better fit in your pipelines, for example, what we discussed before about, how to fit in already page, how can I analyze your site? Another idea that I'm working on right now is to also pull your Google Search Console directly and just be able to cluster what you have and just understand cannibalization issues. Because I can tell you that ideally Keyword Cupid organizes things together here like this, and you have them in one page. So maybe you should split them. So if you have ideas like that, please shoot them over. I can develop them for you, and we can all rise together.
Sure thing.
That was definitely not ending remarks, but I tend to speak a lot. Ask my wife, but yeah. So yeah.
No, that's awesome, bro. Thanks again. Thanks again for stopping by. Like we said, if you leave any comments in the comment section after the live stream, we're gonna do another one of these so we can answer more questions. And remember to subscribe. I mean, if you like this kind of content, like Dragan said here. By the way, he said he's from Serbia.
Love Serbia.
Yeah, because I was saying Croatia, but he's from Serbia. Very close to Romania. We are all there in that area. Yeah, subscribe if you like this content. Share this YouTube channel with friends, with people who might be interested in having these live hangouts. And remember, stay focused, because we're going to get rid of that boss. All right. And I'm gonna jump now on Alex's live stream to say thank you and to congratulate him as well.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Congratulations, Alex. Thank you so much for everything.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just wanna quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Let's go.